Conversations with turned into voice of the people, the crew for you. Culture, creativity, knowledge, hope, opportunity, bring the light of minds, we shine, we break on through. Conversations with them too. Culture, creativity, knowledge, hope, opportunity, your voice matters, you give shine through. Conversations with them too. Yeah. You are the stage. Shine.
Hey family, welcome back to another edition of Conversations with Them Two. I'm your host, MJ, and tonight we've got another special treat lined up for you. But before we get started, I want to take a moment to acknowledge my co-host, as she unfortunately is under the weather. So apparently this weekend she was out at Metro Zoo and got wet, lost her voice or something to that effect. I don't know. At any rate, she's not feeling well and she's not here, which means that I get to talk about her a whole lot more. But before we do that, I want to let you know that we're going to send her love and prayers because when she comes back, I'll never hear the end of it. But rest assured, she is watching and texting and working behind the scenes. Yes, she is. So now, listen carefully. Last year, there was a phenomenal stage play. But this is not the same show. Last year, Dearest Momma sold out. People are still talking about it today. But this year, it's a completely new story with new twists, deeper moments, some new cast members, and a whole new powerful message. So we've got the visionary himself, my friend, my brother, a film director, a playwright, somebody that I can call anytime. So I want you guys to welcome none other than Yonel, Aris, to Conversations with Them Two. My brother. You know it's an honor and a privilege to have you with us tonight.
Absolutely. MJ, man, thank you and Lady Des, and I pray that for a quick recovery for her. Man, it's always a pleasure to be on your show, and man, y'all always bless me, man. So thank you so much.
Definitely. So as we get closer to Mother's Day, how are you feeling about this Mother's Day production?
Man, MJ, I'm excited, man. I'm excited. It always amazes me. You know, it never ceases to amaze me what God is doing, man. It's just amazing. And one thing that I've been doing a lot more is truly leaning into, what He wants to do. It's one thing to be to kind of lean on the talent, and I'm grateful for the ability to know how to write and direct and all those things, but I realized, especially as I got older, and that this is not about me. It's about Him. It's about glorifying His name and doing exactly what it is that He wants me to do. And so I think this piece is definitely something different. It's definitely at another level. Last year, when people came to the show, man, the power of God was so heavy in there that there were people that walked away saying they got healed. And I've never done a production where people actually walked away and said, hey, listen, I got healed. So I know God is doing something dynamic in this season, and I'm here for it,
Absolutely. So for those who may have just crawled from under a rock and don't know who Yonel is, tell us about the man behind the vision.
Look, man, I'm number one, I'm a man of God. I'm a God-fearing man, a man of faith. I'm a husband, I'm a father, I'm a playwright, and I'm a producer and a director. So I've been in this business for over 20 years. I'm telling my age now, right? But I've been in this business for over 20 years. Florida A&M University graduate, very proud of that. And been doing this for a long time. I've done it in the secular world for years. I was a ghostwriter, and I was doing directing and producing. And now, I've come to the place of my life where I'm just like, hey, it was one of those things where God had always been knocking on my door saying, hey, I gifted you. Hey, this is mine. And so I finally come to that point where I'm like, okay, Lord, here, this is all yours. So I kind of stepped away from a lot of what I was doing on the secular side, and I've gone full fledged at making sure I do it for him and glorify him. And so that's me in a nutshell. More importantly, above any of the accolades, man, I'm a man of God, man of faith, God fearing. So yeah.
With that being said, man, last year was touched and sold out, which was a huge accomplishment. But
Yeah.
what you did was, instead of repeating that success, you
Yeah.
said, let's do something new.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
inspired you to take it to a completely different level with the part two?
You know, and a lot of people was talking about it. They was like, "Man, this, man, the play was nice, and it was this, and it was that." And so when I got ready to do another Mother's Day piece, I sat back and I said, "You know what? Let me." So I was getting ready to write a totally different story, and I said, "You know what? I left everybody on a cliffhanger on this last one, and I think there's so much more of the story that can be told." And so I wanted to make sure that I come with something different. Another thing that we did was when we did the play, we offered it to our cast members that were involved last year, and some of them have gone on to do amazing things. And so we opened it up a new casting call, and we have some amazing talent that will grace the stage. So I'm excited about that as well.
So I take it that that was the moment when you decided that you would move forward with a different storyline as opposed to keeping on with the same one, because a lot of the artists decided or grew and things happened. Life was life.
Pretty much. Pretty
Okay.
much, pretty much, pretty much. We kept a lot of that dynamics of the story. Is pretty much like some of the characters. Like we're bringing the mama back, we're bringing the character of Chloe back, and we're bringing the antagonist Smith back. But what we did was we're telling a portion of their story in a different way. So we're bringing a new character in the play that the story pretty much focuses on. And so I think it's going to be interesting. This particular piece has more twists and turns than last year's piece. I think that this piece is going to shock a lot of people. It's going to have them like they're never going to expect what's going to happen in this piece. And so, and one thing that I wanted to do, I'm going to talk about it much here because I want everybody to come see it. But one thing that I wanted to do is I wanted to touch on a subject that a lot of people don't like to talk about. And I talk about it a little bit, but in the piece, one thing that we've dealt with, I have friends of mine, and I had these conversations with them because during Mother's Day, I would invite them to events, and they're like, Mother's Day, because they lost their mom, they don't want to come, and they tend to want to tuck in. And so I said, well, how do what can I do this year where I can, make this something where I can encourage them and also, give them a platform to honor that mom that's in heaven, and so that's what we wanted to do with this particular show.
So with that being said, you have made it where, because we know a lot of times, like you said, holidays like Mother's Day are emotional for people that have lost their parent.
Absolutely.
You
Absolutely.
decided, to go through with the show and put it on for Mother's Day. I guess I want to ask you, has there been moments during rehearsals that, realizing that this is taking place on Mother's Day, that you've even been surprised at the elevation of the new cast?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. A lot of the cast members, the new cast members too, they're stars in their own right. They're involved in a lot of major productions, and funny enough, like this happens to me a lot. Like I get people saying, "Man, Yonel, I've been wanting to work with you for years," and I'm the same way. I'm looking at the talent, saying, "I've been wanting to work with you for years." So that's a blessing within itself, MJ. I'm telling you. Yep.
So I know you mentioned some of the twists and turns, and you don't want to give them all away, but give me a little something, bro.
Well. One thing I'm going to say is this: last year in the play, we had a character named Corey, and in this play, Corey is actually locked up, and that's how we were able to kind of um, do the little twist. But we have a new antagonist that's stirring up a lot of drama,
Okay.
per se, in this play. I can say this: by the time you get to Act 2. before you get to act two, we would have had like maybe 3 or 4 different twists and turns. And we do something interesting with Chloe's character because in the last play, Chloe's she's adopted, and this is something that I wanted to do too, MJ, because when I wanted to honor mothers during Mother's Day, I wanted to honor not just those that were biological moms, but moms that stood in the paint. You know, those like my mom. I have a brother that was adopted, and so but she never treated us differently. We grew up like I knew him as my brother until I found out he wasn't my biological brother, and we would have never known if nobody said anything, and so that's something that we do too. We honor those moms that are just there, but yeah, I guess I'm dancing around it so I don't give too much of the story away.
I got you. I got you. All right. So every production that Yonel Aris has done has always been filled with emotion, laughter, drama, and even
Yeah.
shocking revelation. So,
Yes.
what kind of conversations do you want families to be able to take away after they see this Mother's Day play?
One of the biggest things I like to do, right? I think that I think that I talk about this all the time. What one thing my professor said this to me, and God bless the late Dr. Tucker. He said, there's the sympathy and empathy concept. Sympathy says, I know what you're going through. Empathy says, I feel what you're going through. When your audience can walk away feeling what the characters are going through, then you create a real tangible experience. And so with that level of responsibility, one thing that I ask is, Lord, what do you want to deal with? And I think in this particular piece this year, he wants to deal with the heart of the people. Because we talk a lot about revival in the piece, right? But the way it's structured is that before revival can happen out there, revival got to first happen in here. And so that's kind of the theme for this year. It's revival happening in the heart of the people. So you have these characters that are going through gut-wrenching, tough, heart-wrenching things, where you would say, there's no way this person can get out of this. There's no way they're going to be able to like navigate through this, and we're touching topics that are very difficult to even have a conversation about. But I think it's the greatest stage to allow the power of God to be in full display,
Absolutely. And that's something else that you always do. You're always at the heart of family. And when you write plays, you write about family, you write about truth, and
Yes.
always real life situations. Now, we know that this isn't just a play because Yonel
Mhm.
Aris doesn't do just plays. This is going to be a full blown
Yes,
experience.
absolutely.
Taking there's brunch for
Yes.
the daytime, dinner for the
Yep.
nighttime, and
Yep.
live theater all at once.
Absolutely. All at once. And one thing that we did was, MJ, last year,
Mhm.
when we sold out, we didn't account for the extra, that overflow. And so what happened was, in terms of our logistics, there were some things that we could have done better, and so I took that, I took full responsibility for that, and I said, okay, what do we need to do? How can we improve this? And so we went ahead and looked at everything, hired a caterer that's going to come in. The food was amazing last year, and so what we did this year was we were like, okay, we're going to give them something a little special. And so we've already spoken to the catering company, and they're putting a nice piece together for our audience. And we've been like literally tonight after rehearsal, we're having another logistics meeting to make sure that we can accommodate the crowd that comes.
Now, why did you decide, or what inspired you to combine dinner with a live stage production at the same time? What made you say, you know what, this is what we're gonna do?
You know what it is too, MJ? I thought about it, right? Mother's Day, a lot of times Mother's Day, people are in long lines, just to try to take their mom to eat. And so what I said was, instead of having to take your mom to 2 different places, like let's take her to go see a show. And then after the show, let's take her to go get something to eat. And then you got to stand in 2 long lines just to do that. I said, hey, what if we combine both of them and just give them a full experience, And I think it would be an amazing thing, amazing gift to the mother. So that was one of the biggest inspirations for me, was to, you know what, let's create an atmosphere where it's convenient, you know, and they get the best of both worlds, because you know we likes to eat, you know.
Absolutely.
So yes, sir.
So this is
So yeah,
actually the perfect event for Mother's Day. I mean, you have it all,
absolutely.
like you said, you know, you guys get to hang out with mom and enjoy a wonderful
Hmm.
stage production and either brunch or dinner, all depending on which show you attend. What
Yes.
would you say to somebody that's thinking about bringing their mother or loved one? What would you tell them?
I'm gonna tell you right now, just calm, because what happens is I get people like last year, for example, right? I had people that was like, hey, you know what? Let me try to do something, and then at the last minute, they was like, no, let me get my ticket and come. We had to turn people away because we had sold out, you know, and we haven't sold out yet, but we're getting close. So go get your ticket. But I think it's definitely something that you need to come to. I had someone come up to me and was like, "Look, you know what? I didn't know what to expect," and they were like, "To be honest with you, I really didn't." And I came with my face screwed up because I really didn't want to come, but I got dragged here. And they was like, it was the best experience ever. I had somebody else tell me, you know what? My mom looked at me. My 90-year-old mom looked at me and said, "Thank you, son. This was the best gift you could have ever given me." And so to hear those things like that, that's my why, MJ. That's the reason why I said, you know what? We were able to put a smile on a mother's face. I think we need to do this again.
Absolutely. Reset. Hey, family, thank you so much for tuning in to Conversations with them too. I'm your boy MJ. And as you see, we are missing Lady Des, who's under the weather. So we send speedy recovery prayers out to her. Hey, Kelly Smith, thank you for tuning in via Facebook. I am speaking to the one and only, the playwright, the author, the director. Listen, the theatrical man himself, none other than Yonel Aris, one of South Florida's very own. Now, how quickly are tickets moving this year?
Oh, MJ, they're flying, man. Just today alone, I woke up early this morning, and the internet, algorithm was just going, just going, just going. So I have to watch it every day because there's a capacity, so that I can stop the ticket sales. Because that was my mistake last year. We were at the show and I forgot to stop the ticket sales, and
Uh,
it was just going, 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 going. So I called my wife. I said, "Baby, we got a problem." She said, "What happened?" I said, "I forgot to turn the ticket sales off, and we're oversold." So so we had to literally bring extra tables out to accommodate the crowd. So it's selling, and because we sold out last year, a lot of people know what to expect, and they don't want to wait till the last minute. So they're buying tickets. And the thing is, we're getting group sales. So it's not like, people buying one ticket, because this is a Mother's Day event. So we have people that are coming in and buying. Somebody just bought 8 tickets last night. You know, somebody else just bought another 5 tickets not too long ago. And so this is how the tickets are being purchased. So I would say, look, don't wait till the last minute. I would say this a lot, MJ. And because I'm a marketer at heart, a lot of people would think, hey man, that's just a marketing gimmick. Listen, I won't. I'm not lying to you. I'm telling you, they will go fast, and when they're sold out because we have to accommodate the crowd that we have. We prepare a certain amount of food to accommodate the people that we have coming. So once they're sold out, they're sold out.
yeah, now let me touch on this real quick. We talked about people who have lost their parents showing up for the Mother's Day play. What
Yeah.
about mothers who maybe are just looking for something to do? It's okay for them to come alone, right?
Absolutely, absolutely, because we do have that. I know we have groups of mothers that come in. One thing that we do every year too, MJ, is that typically we get sponsors, and we sponsor like widows that may want to come and can't come. They can't afford it. We sponsor them. Sometimes we have sponsors that come in and sponsor them to come. But yes, absolutely, absolutely, the atmosphere is amazing for that, and it's You just have to see. I can't even explain the experience. Everybody's in there, and it's just, and we're honoring every mom. I mean, we take it. We're rolling out the red carpet for every mom that's in that building. Yeah.
Most definitely. And you mentioned not waiting to the last
Oh,
minute to get tickets. So
I'm
since we
telling.
don't want people to wait, how can they get tickets right now?
So they can go on www.eventbrite.com. All right. And you can look for Dearest Mama 2, and then you can purchase your tickets there. One thing that we did this year that we didn't do last year is that we started absorbing the cost because with the gas prices and everything that's been going up, we wanted to see, what can we do? We kept the prices the same from last year. We didn't go up. Everything else has gone up. Trust me, the food costs is everything has gone up, but we ate that cost because it's important for us to just, we want to get the moms there. And so www.eventbrite.com, or if you have additional questions, you can call 954-861-0333. Again, that's 954-861-0333.
Okay, Yonel. So I know you're in the midst of production and still getting things together. So I'm not going to keep you too long, but I do have two more questions for you. And the first
Go ahead.
question
Go ahead.
is, if you had to describe the experience in one word about Dearest Mama, what would it be?
Exhilarating.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exhilarating. Yeah.
All right. So
Absolutely.
what makes
Exceptional.
okay,
Go
what
ahead.
makes Dearest Mama, what does that mean to you personally?
You know, again, I get to see motherhood from different aspects. As a husband, I get to watch my wife and how she parents, and so amazing in what she do. And I was raised by a phenomenal woman, my mom, and my grandmother, and a lot of the women that were in my life that may not have been my biological mom, but they were mother figures to me. And so it gives me an opportunity to honor that, and to honor the other women that are out there that are doing it, because I get it. We see you, and the hard work that you do. The moms that are out there maybe working two jobs, the moms that are working one job, the mom that are home raising the children, the mom that's just trying to figure it out, and I know it could be very discouraging at times, especially if that child seems like they're going left and you think that maybe it's something that you're doing wrong. I was one of those children that was going left at one point, but my mom never gave up on me. She kept praying, 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 and I'm the man that I am today because of the prayers that she prayed. So I want to pay homage to that. The women that God has placed not only in my life but in the lives of all the people that are in the cast and those that are in the place. So we all get an opportunity to celebrate our moms together, and so that's that. That's what the play means to me. It's a love letter to moms. If I can summarize it, it's a love letters to mom. So this is my love letter to you. This is my way of saying, hey, I appreciate you. I see you, and yeah,
And what we want you to do is get those tickets to Dearest Mama 2 so that you
yeah,
can come out, whether it's for brunch, whether it's for dinner, so that you can be appreciated if you're a mom. And if you're not a mom, bring your mom so that she can be appreciated. And give us the phone
absolutely.
number one more time.
Okay, the
Okay,
phone
the
number
phone
for
number.
questions is 954-861-0333. Again, 954-861-0333.
Yonel, my brother, I thank you so much, man, as always, for doing what it is that you do, and that is making sure that you keep South Florida on the map. I
Thank you.
applaud you for all of the great work, all of the great
Thank
plays.
you.
I'm loving the book. I want you to know that you still got to autograph.
Oh, thank you. Thank
Loving
you.
the book.
Thank you. Thank
And
you.
want everybody to pack out the house for mothers, for Mama's Dearest #2. Come on out. It's going down. And listen, whether you came last year or if this is your first time, we want you to step into something that's completely new.
Yeah.
This is more than a play. It's a whole blown experience. And
Yeah.
bring a special lady in your life, whether it's your mom, whether it's your
Yeah.
sister, whether it's your aunt, definitely bring her out and enjoy, first of all, the Yonel Aris experience. That's the first thing. And then enjoy the Mother's Day brunch and theatrical production that's coming. Yonel, my brother, as always, man, thank you so much for taking
MJ,
time out of your busy
thank
schedule.
you.
You are appreciated, man, and
Thank
just
you.
thank you for making sure that mothers everywhere are seen and appreciated.
Absolutely. Thank you, MJ. Thank you for everything, man. Everything through the years, man. You've always been there from the very beginning of when I started. So I appreciate you, man. Appreciate Lady Daz and everything that you guys are doing. All right.
Absolutely, bro. We appreciate you as well. And family and friends, listen, that's going to do it for this edition of Conversations with Them Two, with the one and only Yonel Aris. Get your tickets at eventbrite.com. Make sure you are there for Mama Dearest Part 2. You don't want to miss it. Conversations with Them Two takes place each and every Monday night at 8 in the p.m. Maybe Lady Dez will get released from Metro to jail next week and she'll be here with us. I don't know. But if not, we'll be here holding it down. So, family and friends, until next Monday at 8 p.m., we bid you love and peace. Have a great evening.
Thank you.